Hey everybody, welcome to episode 41 of the Fiberista Files. Today is Sunday, July 10th?
Yes.
I think. Okay. As you can see, I am podcasting from Katie's podcasting cabana. We'll call it that. You got Lorna's listed. I didn't see that. Sorry.
She's distracted by the pretties.
When aren't I?
I don't know.
We were visiting Katie today, my husband and I. So, visiting Katie and her honey. So we just had the most amazing barbecue lunch ever.
So
I'm in a food coma, so if I fade out, it's because I'm remembering the wonderful yumminess. And so we thought, well, what the heck? I'm due to podcast today anyway, so why not?
Do it when again.
Sounds like a plan. Alright, so, before we begin, I need to offer 2 retractions.
Oh, yeah.
The first one is that a couple of weeks ago, I got a little ranty about the treatment I got at a yarn store because I thought that they were following me around, and I was all offended because, like, don't you know I'm a knitter? I know how to correctly pronounce Zauberball. Well, I got an email from a viewer who said, you know, a lot of podcasters get it wrong, so it's fine, but you're the only person who ever said that you know how to pronounce it, and actually, it's not pronounced Zauberball. It's pronounced Zauberball, like a TS instead of a Z, because apparently in Germany they don't start with Z's, they start with Zauberball. And she linked me to this beautiful, like a Google Translate that had the audio, so you could actually hear it. And it is definitely Zauberball.
Not
so I was saying, it's not Zauberball, it's Zauberball. So I was wrong. Thank you very much for letting me know. I was a little embarrassed.
No, I know, because that means I said it wrong too.
Yeah, well, turns out I just can't talk about knowing. I put it back in the right spot.
That was good.
I just can't talk about knowing how to say Zauberball and getting all on my high horse, because apparently no.
Apparently you are not on your high horse.
The other one is that I did a grabby hands last week about New England knits, which was one of the books that I got from the Interweave Hurt book sale. Not going into it. And you know what I did? This is so bad. I keep the book in the bathroom.
Yeah.
So then when I'm in there a little while, I'll like look through it and page through the patterns and just, you know, sort of give it a few minutes of undivided attention.
Absolutely.
There's more there that I like than I thought. There's 2 sweaters now, not just one. I still like the hat, and I'm liking it better now that I've given it some time.
Oh.
And I did see in the introduction that they said that the book is geared for transitional New England weather.
Oh, so that would make more sense.
That makes more sense to me now. So the book doesn't offend me on a New Englander level anymore.
Considering it's cold here more than it's warm here.
Well, yeah. And so I'm liking it a little bit better now.
Good.
Like, I feel like reading the introduction where they said, hey, it's transitional, it makes me go, oh, crap. Maybe I should have been complaining.
Maybe I should read the introductions more often.
Before I reveal in the podcast.
That's the part I just skip over to
It's
chapter
me
1.
just shooting off my mouth without knowing anything.
I would know nothing about that.
I'm a rock star, baby. That's what I do. Okay, so I have notes today. They're short notes because I'm using Katie's paper.
She could have used more paper. It's not a big deal.
Are we going to cross things off?
You can if you want to.
Yeah, I do. I have traveled this week, which I know is jet setting for you. And I never have traveled because I never, other than the super secret trips to the coast that I've been making, that I've been telling people about, but not really.
My only travel this week was I worked on Friday and I flew back and forth to Boston 3 times.
In one day.
In one day. Yeah, I went to Bedford, which is actually just west of Boston, in the morning. Came back, and we went and dropped off the owner and his people that they had up there for a big conference to Boston Logan, so they could all catch airline flights, and then back. And then we took people back to Bedford and back. So, and it was good weather, so it was extremely uneventful, which is oddly enough just how pilots like it, uneventful.
And
the passengers. Yeah, we don't tell you about that. Okay, that's all mine. She's been traveling.
Yeah, I mentioned, I don't think I mentioned it in the podcast last week. I mentioned it on Plurk that I was taking a little mini vacation. My husband is on mill shutdown. The mill is shut down for 2 weeks, so he has 2 weeks of vacation. And we just took a couple of days. We went down to Bar Harbor, which is, it's a touristy spot on the coast. Acadia National Park is there. You can Google it. But it's one of our favorite places to go camping. We stayed at a quiet campground up on the hill, you know. We take the dog with us, and he's alright. He wants to bark at the other dogs because he wants them to come say hi, and then doesn't understand why we yell at him. But it's a good quiet place to go, and we love to go. And we went mini golfing, and I beat him. Oh my god, I beat him so bad. We haven't even added up the totals yet
I'm currently 0-2 against Jeremy. And always because of one hole.
I got 3 holes in one on the scores. Like,
Okay,
never
she kicked my
happened.
butt,
So
too.
it was awesome. We had a lot of ice cream and walked around a lot, and we got to do all the fun stuff that we wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
So it was nice. So we left Tuesday morning and came back Thursday afternoon. And then Friday was a dye day for me. So Saturday was supposed to be a dye day. And then I got an email Friday night from a lady a fiber mill who's been processing some stuff that I'll show you in a minute. And she said, hey, your fiber's ready. So I looked at my husband and I said, my fiber's ready? Do you want to go get it? And he goes, where is it? I said, Otisfield? He said, where is that? I said, I don't know. I just mailed it. I don't know where it went.
Absolutely.
So we got out the Gazetteer, which is the big giant map by DeLorme, which if you are ever in Maine, you have to have one. Katie, you have one, right? Yeah. She's not a real Mainer.
I have an atlas?
No.
I didn't know I needed a Gazetteer.
No, you need the Gazetteer.
I will get a Gazetteer.
So we looked, we couldn't even find it on the map, so we had to go and look at the directory under the O's and found Otisfield. And like, if this is Maine, we're in the middle. Otisfield is clear down here. Like it's
like
just
west and way south.
by Poland Spring. If you drink Poland Spring water, we went past the source.
Poland Spring, Maine. That's where it's from. I didn't even know that till like a
Bottle
month
at
ago.
the source. Yeah,
No
we drove
idea.
past it. But I'll talk more about that in a minute. But that took, it was 3 hours down and 3 hours back, and we took the long way back so that we could go past Bartlett Yarns and Harmonies that they were closed. They're only open on weekdays. Suck.
What?
Yeah.
I don't get it. It's summer in Maine.
Well,
People travel the weekend.
turns out Harmony is like day nada. Like there's nothing
Oh.
at all. So fine, I understand.
Yeah.
We'll go back another time, but at least now I know where it is. So,
There you go.
so we were in the car for between 8 and 10 hours on Saturday.
Boy.
I'm so sick of that car.
Oh, you're driving.
I know, right? And then we got home at 4 o'clock. We were home for half an hour, took the dog out, and then went back in the car, drove just into Milo to my friend's birthday party, and then came back. And then we came back, we're like, can we stay home? I was like, no, we're going to see my friend Katie tomorrow. So we get up this morning.
I actually, when I saw her plurking yesterday about all the time in the car, I was like, I better send her a message to make sure she's still coming.
We're coming. I just needed a night of rest and then got some sleep. And
There you go.
But it's a 2-hour drive here, and it took us 4 hours.
Oh, you kept
Because
stopping.
we had to keep
Yeah.
freaking stopping. I mean, it's fine. My husband went and visited his grave of his father. Like, I'm not going to complain about that. Especially because it's been 2 or 3 years since he's been down there. So, but it just, when you're trying to get somewhere, stops delay you. Every time I have stopped to go to the bathroom, every time I have stopped and get coffee, every time I have stopped and eat, I get frustrated. So that makes the day a lot longer. But we're here, and it's good. So, cross that one off.
Cross.
Okay, knitting. What are you knitting? Share.
At the moment, I'm working on the Interrupting Cow Socks by Laura Linneman from the Knit Girls. These are on size 1. Hold on, which hole do they fit in? The 2.25, size 1. And they're in the Dionysus colorway by
Highland Handmades.
yours truly. And they're
You're
going
in the
good.
middle of a row. I'm sorry.
It's okay. I'm good. It's a pretty easy pattern. The slip stitches you can easily pick up. Like I totally didn't cross off where I was because I think I was working on them while I was waiting for passengers and did one. Oh, awesome! Now I just ripped my needle out.
No.
Okay, how about you talk for a second while I put this back on?
Just ripped out from like 20 stitches. Okay, I am working on the 30th birthday song. Stop laughing. Oh, I shouldn't bump you.
She's not being helpful over here.
This is the 30th birthday sock, number 1. It has 30 stripes for 30 years. Number 2, I started this Tuesday morning in Bar Harbor.
Crisis averted.
Tuesday morning we stopped to get gas, and I did the cast on while I was in the car because the toe up cast on is kind of fiddly. I do the Judy's Magic cast on, and you can't be in a bumpy car.
No,
we were in the truck because we were pulling the pop up. So I took the first moment we had to stop, hauled my needles out, threw the yarn out, I was like, and did the I cast on 32 stitches, so it's 16 on each needle. And then this is what I've done since Tuesday. You can see, I'll hold it right side up. This is the afterthought heel, and then I'm just trying to get to 30 stripes now. So I'm at 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21. I'm on the 22nd. I'm just about to start the 23rd out of 30 stripes. So these will be done hopefully by next week. That's one of the things I'm working on.
I don't know.
Your turn. And that's how much yarn I have left. I got plenty left.
Anyways, this is the Dionysus colorway by Heather. In her old sock base, or her first sock base.
The workhorse sock base.
The workhorse sock base.
Sugar maple sock yarn. 75% superwash wool, 25% nylon.
And one of my viewers sent me a message. I gotta share this, even though I'm just gonna put this on my podcast as a bonus episode. So if you want to watch, you can. If not, you can watch it on hers. About the blanket I'm making. She's actually making the same blanket, also for a wedding gift. And she asked about the cluster braid, which is this one in the middle. And this is the XOXO Kiss Hug. But she said that her cluster braid wasn't popping. And when I was feeling my fabric, it's a dense, like it's not loosely knit, like it's pretty tight. So I just said to her, just that day when she sent me the message, I was noticing how a nice firm fabric it is. And I said, if your gauge is a little bit off, which I don't swatch for blankets.
Yeah,
I don't care. It's a blanket. If it's too big or too small, I don't care. So she admitted she didn't swatch either, which I don't swatch for big items. I barely swatch. I'm swatching for socks now because I'm having trouble with fit. But I told her maybe to try go down a needle size.
Dense up the fabric a little bit.
But she ripped out, like, this blanket is not, I mean, it's a good sized blanket. Like, you can't really stretch it out because it's on, like, you know, it's gonna be a decent sized blanket when it's done. She had like 16 inches done, and she frogged it. She said it was just painful, but she's gonna try to re-swatch, and
she's gonna take her longer now too because she's got smaller needles.
And I told her what she should do is she should cast on enough to do that cluster braid, just to do that, a swatch of just that, and see if it looks better, because it's a lot of stitches and it's a long.
You're smart.
It's long. Well, you know what? For once, I feel like I contributed to somebody else.
Sorry, keep going.
No, go ahead.
You thought you contributed to somebody's.
Yeah, somebody else's, like, dilemma, because I always feel like I'm the one asking the questions, and I never have anything useful to tell anybody else. So.
Okay, so the second thing I'm knitting is the Ishbel out of the Top Hand Shetland that I spun up that I asked you guys. It's Shetland. It's kind of.
But I like it, though.
But
it's got a good.
It feels coarse here, but feel the fabric.
Oh, it's
fabric
totally
feels better, yeah. Fabric feels a lot better.
What's this, the Shetland shawl?
It is the Ishbel shawl by Isolde T.
That's Shetland.
This is Shetland, yes. I hand spun, and I asked people what they wanted me to knit out of it.
Oh, that's right.
Whether they wanted me to knit the Hitchhiker or the Ishbel, and they said the Ishbel. So I finished the stockinette portion. I don't know how well you can see this where it's on the stupid needles, but and I've started like 4 rows into the lace pattern. Nice. The lace pattern is giving me fits because I'm off a stitch every time somewhere, and I can track my knitting and go back and reread it and see where I messed up. Yeah. But it's not, so I'm just fudging it. Like usually it's right here by the edge. I get all the way to the edge and everything lines up, and then I'm a stitch short. So I just throw an extra stitch in there and call it good. So I'm hoping that it will even out and I'll be able to move on this soon.
And with this,
but, I mean, it looks fine. You can't
see
where
all the colors. No. This is it. Like, people freak out about one stitch.
It's all stripey.
I know. If you can figure out where it is and fudge it so that it's fine, who cares? Like, if it's something glaringly wrong, you know, that's one thing. But if it's a little thing that you can make it work and it's fine.
Dark yarn.
Yeah.
Forget. Who cares? So, that's what it's one of the other things I'm knitting. How are your La Vie de Bois?
They're doing good. They got a couple rows yesterday. Did I tell you about the crisis? Was this on the podcast? About the La Vie de Bois crisis? I pulled these out of I've been lazy and I haven't been putting the little spring on to hold the needles together. And it went with me for about 3 days at work, and I didn't actually work on them. So they were getting thrown from bag to bag, and I opened it up, and like 2 of the needles, half the needles were just off. And I was on a row where you do yos and yarn overs, or no, yos and the decreases, so there was like knit 2 togethers and slips of knits and like a slip 1, knit 1, pass it over.
Did you just frog a row? I would have frogged the whole row.
Actually, the thing about this yarn is it stays where it is. So like there was a couple like I had to go back and read it, and luckily I've figured out. I don't know how. I think I just started doing it till I figured it out. Like I didn't actually sit down and teach myself how to read knitting, but I think it's just kind of natural for me to want to know how it works and how it looks, and that's how I figured out charts. Was doing these socks.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, so I can like look at the chart and look at the sock and be like, okay, so there should be that there. So if there was too many stitches, I'd be like, all right, where's the there's the decrease missing. So it took about 20 minutes, but Jeremy came home and It's like, how's it going? And I'm like, we have a crisis. So I just put it down because I just needed a minute. But it only took about 10 minutes or so. But yeah, I was looking at having to frog back and get to just
a spot where you
knit
knew.
row.
Yep.
But I ended up doing it okay. So I've got 1, 2. I'm starting on the third little half a chevron, and I've got to do 9 total to match the other one. So those will be done by the time I go home in August for the wedding.
You hope.
They gotta be done. I can't take it anymore. I can't. So frustrated. So anyway.
And then the last thing I'm knitting, working on, is my Even Star. And I'm in the middle of a row, and I never stop in the middle of the row. But I was on Google Chat with Google Plus has a Hangout feature. Is what it's called.
I haven't tried that yet.
It's video chat. It's like tiny chat, but no lagging. Oh my god, it's
awesome.
It's gonna be so epic. I can't even wait. But I am in that second set of Even Stars now, and you know what I'm noticing? Oh, please tell me that's not going to be the way it is. Anyway, I couldn't remember the way I did the first set of Even Stars. Whether I knit front and back, or whether I knit one yarn over, or how I did. I thought I did the knit front and back. But, and you guys won't be able to see this, but I'll show Katie. This first set of Even Stars right here, you can see, where the frick are they? They're here somewhere. Right here. You can see how like that center Even Star has a hole. It's like a Cheerio there in the middle. Okay. So this is the start of the Even Star, and it doesn't look like a Cheerio, at least not yet.
It doesn't.
It doesn't
What
look
do you
like
do with the blob?
This is the blob is 7 stitches. There's
right, but what do? You have to knit all those 7?
Yeah. That is the top, that's the Even Star. You can see that I've completed my columns. My columns are all joined. It's pretty. And then this is the Even Star, and this is that first row where you increase 7, decrease 3, where you stick your needle through 3 stitches and then knit the front and the back of the stitch. So you do knit 7 times. Front, back, front, back, front, back,
It makes my head hurt.
And I was getting frustrated, and I was trying to talk to Steven. Steven makes me laugh. So,
that's not a good idea.
No, I had to stop.
Well, so then you both just work on the
halfway.
Even Star at the same time, and you can laugh at each other and screw each other up.
No. This is the halfway stitch marker, so I have 2 more Even Stars, and then I'm halfway through that round. And that's the last round of Even Stars I have. If I look at my chart.
Erin said she's going to do one of those. Did you catch that this week? She liked your idea of doing a halfway marker, so it gave her a marker of where she is. This
is the 3rd chart, and I can show you this because it's not the 3rd chart. It's half of the 3rd chart because I'm still using the old clues because that's how old this is. And I'm on the last pattern row of the clue, and then you'll see this next one is just a straight knit row.
Oh, nice.
So I just relax a little bit and knit all those stitches. So once that's done, I have to go. I have the actual chart from the chart 3. This is chart 3, and you can see this is chart 3, and this is where the Even Star is. So I have all that still to go. Susan won't mind me showing you. It's not like you're going to be able to get anything off of that.
If you can,
more power to you. Ah, jinx. She can't talk. Don't say her name. Katie, I need to say your name. I need you to talk.
I would have talked anyway because I can't.
You don't play?
No, I would have done it inadvertently. Like, I can't shut up.
Okay. I just want you to play along, that's all.
I should open
and my cat helps
before
me.
we start because it's getting hot in here.
Yeah, it is getting warm. Look, see how the...
Oh yeah, it's like little Sebastian.
Zed helps me.
Where's the boy kitty?
With my Ishbel. Okay, so that's all knitting. So that's good. It's probably like half an hour in already. Cross off the knitting. I didn't finish anything this week. It's first week. All summer I haven't had like more than one thing completed.
I haven't finished anything either.
No.
It's the same 3 things I'm working on.
It's okay. So we're on to dye pots.
Oh yeah, that's all you.
Yeah, that's okay. I mentioned I dyed Friday. I'm trying to have 2 big dye days a week, where I have the kitchen clean because I dye in my kitchen, and I can spend 2 days just turning pots over as quickly as possible. I do 2 in the oven, and then I can also do 3 on the stove as like kettle dyes. It's a lot of my tonals and stuff for the lace, so I can do 5. Let's see, 2, 4, 6. I can do 12. In an hour.
Holy
12
crap.
skeins of yarn in an hour, 12 braids of fiber in an hour. So I can get quite a bit done if I hammer down.
Right.
But Saturday was going to be my second dye day. I was going to get a lot of fiber done, and then I got the email that said that my stuff was ready, so I had to go down and get it. So I'm going to show you that stuff in a minute, but I will show you the yarn and fiber that I have. Now this is not everything because I did a bunch of lace this week. I had a lot of custom orders that I'm trying to get caught up on. So a lot of the stuff, if it's just as easy to do 2 as it is to do 1. So if somebody wants 1 braid of lace in a colorway, it's just as easy to do another one and then sell that one to somebody, whoever. So I have most of everything here, but there are several colorways that are still at home. So don't be surprised if on Monday you see something that's not listed. So this is one of the new colorways I did. And I did basically a few colorways and a bunch of fibers just to give people a little bit of choice. If they like the colorway, but they don't like the fiber, they can choose.
Yep.
This is called the Rom. And this colorway is a bronzy green, sort of a brick red, a harvesty orange, and brown. There's like a chestnut brown in there too. And this is the merino bamboo nylon fiber. Very soft.
Oh.
And shiny. I love it.
I'm coming up with many requests in my head. I actually got a whole list on my computer.
She emails me one day, or flirts me one day. She's like, so are you going to do any of these again? Because it's not payday, and I really want all this and this and that. I said, Katie, you know I can dye you up anything you want, right? I do custom orders. She's like, well, I know. But then she ended up buying something in the update anyway.
Oh, yeah. I didn't have it yet when I did my podcast. They're both in the mail. That's the Vesper. That's the Verbena. It's pink and gray and black, which I'm not usually a pink person, but that was cute. And some purple. And this is the Raspberry Lemonade in the Kid Mohair Nylon Superfine Merino. It's pretty.
Goober on it.
That could be for me.
I don't know what that is.
So anyway, yes, it was nice. That's what I ended up buying. Because it was such a deal, and I couldn't say no.
It's like $11 or something.
Yeah,
isn't it? It's cheap.
$11.
Okay, so I also did, Katie is knitting her socks out, I'm not going to touch it, out of Dionysus or Dionysus, however you want to say it. So I did up some more of that in case anybody else wants to make interrupting cow socks out of the same yarn as Katie's. You can see this is all like a plummy purple, a lavender, a dark green, and navy blue. And there's some lighter areas too where I allowed it to bleed. And then I also did it in the silver maple sock. Sugar maple sock, superwash wool and nylon. Silver maple sock is merino, superwash merino, bamboo, and nylon. So you can see they look a lot different. They're exactly the same dye lot. I did the same dyes in the same amounts. Just that this one's shiny because of the bamboo and it doesn't take the dye the same. So
it's softer. It's the same so colors. Soft. Well, I would say both in color and in touch.
Yeah.
Like if you look at the colors side by side, this is the one with the bamboo. The colors are softer. I think because of the shine.
Yep.
And
it's super squishy and soft. It's so nice. I love it.
So I was like, you think we could do something in the new sock line? So
I've got half a cone still, so we want something. This is that same The Rom colorway in the superwash. It's a silver maple sock yarn. I don't need to tell you the contents every time. Same rust browns and oranges and greens, and it's supposed to be reminiscent of like a gypsy caravan.
Oh yeah.
Hence the Rom. That's what they are. The Romanian nomads.
Oh yeah.
Midnight Lavender and the Sugar Maple. I may have done Midnight Lavender in the new one. I can't remember. New School Clothes is a colorway that is brand new. These are the hot colors for fall, hence the term.
Oh, nice.
They like announce these. Now, I don't know who's they, but they announce them. So this is like a floxy purple, bright orange, and a golden yellow as well. So,
colors for fall, huh?
Yeah, supposedly hot new colors for fall, so I had to do it, because why not? New School Clothes, same thing, sugar maple sock. I also did that colorway in 2 different fibers. I did it in the mixed BFL, which you can see has the light and dark BFL. This would be a good first fiber for your wheel, by the way. And it's not super wash, so it has a little bit more grab to it.
Yeah.
And then this is the Kid Mohair Nylon Merino blend in that same colorway as well. And this is the sheeniest, if that's a word, version of that, because the mohair really reflects light really well. So shiny. I also did some more peacock in Corriedale. One of these will be a spindle kits, one will be a standalone. Somebody had custom requested, I'm totally out of frame. Somebody custom requested peacock in the new lace weight, which is the pin cherry lace yarn, which is 80% fine merino and 20% silk. I wasn't sure how that was going to turn out, but I freaking love it.
Yeah,
so pretty.
It turned out really well.
So, so pretty. So this is the peacock.
The TV just got really loud.
Oh, okay. So she's going to step out of frame for a minute. It is variegated, but I think it's a muted variegate, and I think it actually is really pretty. So because I did the peacock in lace, I decided to do some fiber in Corriedale too. And then I also, this is another custom order, is the Midnight Lavender in Falkland. So it's the same as the Midnight Lavender in yarn, but the Falkland doesn't take the darker dyes as brightly. It's kind of a muted. Falkland is a very muted fiber for me. It doesn't show up really super bright. None of the colorways that I've done have been very bright. They're all sort of muted. I mean, you can tell. They look different. It's the same colorway, same dyes, literally out of the same jar. So, but one of these is for somebody, and then one is for somebody else. Anybody else?
This is my Falkland, isn't it? This is
Yes.
my first Falkland that I had a hard time with at the beginning.
Yes.
We were not on speaking terms at the beginning.
Yeah, but then you got it and you figured it out. That's
did.
awesome. So, that's what I had to show you. I also will have a pair of skeins of the lace in Lady Slipper, which is the hot pink and soft pink. I will have a single skein in Spruce, which is the dark kind of bluish green. I will have a single skein of, I think I'll have a Blooming Crabapple. I can't remember if she said she wanted one or two. If she just wants one, then the other Blooming Crabapple will be free. If she wants both, then you won't get any Blooming Crabapple this week. And they're all in the fine wool, fine merino, and silk base, which is really nice. I really like that base a lot. So,
very good.
I'm just trying to catch up on custom orders and get those done and out of the way. My summer is changing rapidly. Did I tell you I'm doing summer school?
No, you said that you mentioned, but you didn't say if you...
Yeah, I'll get to
Down
that. That'll be
down
at the
in
end.
Sumner?
Yeah, that'll be at the end. I haven't
Holy
announced
crap.
that yet, but yeah.
All right, there we go.
It's a fun story.
You heard it here.
The new stuff, the stuff that I went and picked up on Saturday, will not be in this Monday's update because I need to figure out the pricing. I'm so thankful she gave me an itemized list because I'll know how much I paid for the
So do you have a whole bunch of stuff? You bought a whole bunch of this?
I had purchased 3 alpaca fleece, and then I also had 2 wool fleeces that I had purchased.
Okay.
One of the fleeces for my husband, he wanted it. We paid $18 a pound for this Border Leicester fleece. It was gorgeous.
Right.
So that one is ours. We're not selling that one.
Okay.
But I threw it in there to get processed because why do it myself if I'm paying to get them all done anyway? Just do that one too. So
are these all fleeces that you bought?
I bought these fleece and had them processed.
You did?
Yes.
Totally missed that. Sorry.
So I went to a friend of mine who lives right in the Highlands. Used to have alpaca, and she had a bunch of fleece, and so I conned her into letting me see the fleece, and ended up walking out with 3 of them because they're gorgeous, clean. You know, these were animals that she had for a number of years.
Were they
and
coated and stuff, weren't they?
They weren't coated, but they were kept very clean in a nice clean enclosure. They weren't kept in a stall with a bunch of straw and gross stuff, and they were and then the wool fleece but this is Cotswold and Romney. I purchased this at a fiber fair, and it was a big fleece, and I was like, throw that in there. So I will have soon for sale locally grown and processed fiber, 100% alpaca and Romney Cotswold cross. It's one sheep that is a blend of both breeds, not 2 different sheep breeds that are blended together. So, did that make sense? So the first one is I have a pound of Crea alpaca, and Crea is baby alpaca. This is the very first
freaking awesome.
Shearing of this alpaca. It's dark fawn. It's like a dark, rusty kind of mocha. It's almost like raw cocoa. Like when you open the cocoa, it's like the lighter brown.
Yep.
This is baby alpaca is like heaven.
It's awesome. I was petting it earlier.
And the alpaca all had names. I don't remember them, but I have the paper, so they'll all be named as they go. So I have some brown. These bags are a single ounce. This is how fluffy this stuff is, and I'll talk about that in a second. But
don't smush it down.
You don't smush it.
I smushed mine.
Don't smush it. Try to take the air out of the bag. I'm like, don't do it. This is fawn alpaca. Fawn is just it's a lighter brown. Quite a bit of that. And then
So did you have a lot of loss?
Not with the alpaca, because alpaca doesn't have lanolin, so there's no weight. It's just there's some dirt and stuff.
Okay.
Some, like, they're dusty.
Oh, gotcha.
So there's some dust and, like, some small veggie matter. You can see there's a couple small little bits of veggie matter
those
in here. But no.
That's pretty.
The Borderleister had a lot of lanolin in it. It was very greasy fleece, so it was. I lost more of that. But merino, actual merino, you can lose up to 40%.
What?
Yeah.
Jeez.
So this is the white alpaca. Same thing, just white. And this almost looks like it has some guard hairs in it, which is funny because alpaca is not supposed to have guard hair. But I don't know if you can see. Can you see like the little long hairs here?
Yeah.
They're not pokey. They're soft.
No, they're not pokey at all.
They're not anything that I think would affect the ability to wear this next to your skin, but it's just kind of...
No.
I know, right?
It feels totally different when you pull a little bit out than when you feel it like in the...
And this seriously would take spin. I mean,
brown one.
That one's yours.
I know. Let me see it.
Hang on a second. I'm gonna zip this one back up. So I went to. Oh, I should show you the ramen first, and then I'll talk about the fiber.
No, yeah, do that.
This is the Cotswold ramen. It's a dark gray, but it's like got heathered. It's almost like black, but with heathered gray bits into it. I don't know how well you can see that with Katie's camera, but it's gorgeous. It's a soft, dark, heathered. It's almost like a dark brown, almost black. Hard saying it. But the bag this came in is huge. So I've got like almost 4 pounds of that.
Wow. How about the other ones? About the same? Like, were those full fleeces?
The full fleeces, but the white one, I think I had 3 pounds. The fawn, I have like 1.5 pounds, and the Korea is just barely 1 pound. Okay. Because Korea is smaller, so.
Right.
Anyway, so I went to the Oasis Fiber Mill, and if you Google that, it'll show up. She's in Otisfield, Maine. Her name is Diane Knowlton.
It's right at the top of the page when you Google it. I already did it.
Yeah, Oasis Fiber Mill. Fantastic. I called her because the woman who had the alpacas had recommended her to me and said, this is where I used to send my fleeces, so if you want to get them processed, go for it. So I called her, and she said, I'm really not taking anybody new right now. I'm full. I don't have, and that's the problem with all the fiber mills around, is that they're so busy, they're not taking anybody new. And I said, all right, so that's totally fine, I understand. I just wanted roving because I'll be reselling it. And, you were recommended to me by my friend Sonia, who, had the alpaca. She's like, oh, well, all you want's roving. She said, when do you want to buy? I said, I have no time limit. Take it, do it whenever. And she's like, all right. So she made an exception for me, which I really appreciate because holy amazing Batman. Like, the Borderleister fleece I was having a really hard time with. It didn't matter how hot I had the water. I couldn't get the lanolin out. It was, it had a really high melting point, the lanolin did, and I was just struggling. So I sent down everything I had, packed it in a big box, took a vacuum cleaner to the bags to, like, suck the air out, smush them all in. And it was a long time. I think I sent them in April, and I just got them back on Saturday. So it was like a 2.5 month turnaround time. But, like, white fibers had to be processed when she's doing other white fibers. Oh. And then she has to switch colors. So it's not like she can just throw something on there whenever she wants. But super nice. Was really good about emailing back if I had a question. And super sweet. We got there, and she's like, you want to tour the mill? Of course I wanted to tour of the mill. Oh my god, are you kidding? I was like squeeing inside. Like, it was really bad. Like, my voice was up an octave. I was so excited.
I think she was jumping up and down.
Yeah, my husband was like, calm down. My gosh, you even had coffee! It's ridiculous.
Tour of a fiber mill takes place of coffee.
So, the fiber mill, I was worried was going to be like a bunch of big scary machines. Because when I think of like fiber processing, I think of like textile mills.
Yes.
That have huge racks. And it's scary, like cut your fingers off sort of thing. So I was like, sure, show me. Like, I had my hands like all balled up. I didn't want to lose my fingers. She uses, it's a company called Mini Mills, where they're all smaller machines. I mean, there's none of them that were above chest high. And she had a picker, she had a carder, she had a stretcher, she had a roller, she had a twister, she had like 6 different machines. You can't see this arm over here, but it's totally like talking. So,
trying to keep us both in the
talking hands, yeah, sorry. But she showed me how every machine worked. She showed me what the steps were in the process. Cool. She showed me what the fiber looked like at every step. She showed me, she spins it and then plies it, and then there's a separate machine that winds it onto cones. Nice. So she was showing me all the other stuff, and she, I talked about, she asked me what I was going to do with the alpaca. I said, I'm just going to sell it. I said, if it were something that I were going to keep, I would blend it with merino because alpaca yarn is a lot more sturdy and has a lot more memory.
Yep.
To me, is superior if it's blended with merino. And she was like, well, I've got merino, so next time if you want me to blend it with merino, just let me know.
That's cool.
I was like, holy crap. So, and I heard in that statement that she would work with me again. So it was a one-shot deal. So
Yes, that definitely.
I will be buying more fleece, baby. I'm excited.
See, that's the thing. Like, I don't want to buy a fleece because I don't want to process it.
Yeah.
It's gross.
It is gross. It is nasty. And I washed all of I washed all of the fleece more than once.
Yeah, see, I have no desire to. I know people like to do that.
She did end up having to wash a couple of them again because, like, the borderline strip, I just couldn't get it all out. And it was greasy. And I don't want to ruin her machines. I'm like, you do what you need to do because they're your machines. I'm not going to be responsible, you know?
Right.
It was $160 to process all 5 fleece into roving, which,
that's not,
considering the amount of poundage that I did, I was like, that's totally reasonable. And, you know, a lot of them had to be washed again. It's totally reasonable. I know that she is full, so if you have fleece or fiber and you want her to process it or spin it, contact her. She has, I don't know. She does sort of a case by case, sort of where she's at, I guess.
She thinks she can fit it in.
Yeah. So if you contact her, you know, you can ask her and she'll do the weeding out. She's like, it's not your responsibility to weed them all out, so just... I was like, all right.
Tell them to contact me.
Her name's Diane Knowlton, and she is at Oasis Fiber Mill. If you Google it, that's what it is. I don't know if it's a .com or not, but she said she has more business that she can handle. She doesn't advertise. She's got a sign in her driveway. She's a little, like, mailbox and, like, a bushy, overgrown driveway, and that's it. Like, no, nothing. And she just has more. I totally want a fiber mill now. I want to buy those machines and do that. Like, there's so much fun. It might be too much fiber. I might hate it.
Highly unlikely.
Highly unlikely. Yeah. We all know she's lying. But it would be a good job, I think, for my husband because it's kind of technical and machinery. So if we ever both got into it full time, he would run the machine.
Oh, yeah. He'd like that. He'd like the machines.
He'd like the machines.
Are you doing spinning today?
Oh. Sure.
I'm just asking.
Sure, yeah, we can do spinning.
When do you usually do that?
When I'm talking about... you know what, I forget. So I usually have to pop it in somewhere else afterwards. And then,
oh, got it.
Because I forget. So what are you spinning?
I'm spinning
Highland Handmades.
Falklands. I know. I'm like the Highland Handmades poster child between me and Tina.
Thirsty.
Yeah. So, this is the Katahdin colorway that I'm still working on. I waited.
Which is gray and green.
See, and I think it's like purplish gray.
It is a purplish gray.
I mean, there's the dark areas look a little purpley, but some of them look very silvery gray. And when you spin it, it looks totally...
Okay, sorry, we were having technical difficulties.
Battery died.
I don't know how that could have happened. We're so quick.
This is what I was trying to show you. It's how it's spinning very nicely. Me and Falkland had a little bit of issues at the beginning. I was having a hard time because it's very grabby. For me, it's very grabby, so I was really annoyed. But I just pre-drafted out and then ball it up into a little ball. Oops, it's all wrapped up with nice. So I just drafted out, roll into a ball, and it's spinning it beautifully. It's very nice. It's like I want to spin it really fast because I want to see how it's all going to ply up.
Right.
And that's almost 2 ounces.
Right.
Already.
And you've got plenty of room on there, too.
Yeah, I could very possibly might fit it all in there. We'll see.
Are you going to try and fit it all in there? Or are you going to split it into 2? And...
I don't know.
See, once I get stuff on there, I'm like, I want to take it off. Like, I want to take stuff off, spin it, do something else.
But it might be good if I do, because I'm just going to 2-ply it.
Right.
So I might just get it to 2 ounces, wind it off, make 2 2-ounce. I have my Lower East Side Payless shoebox up there. Is going to be her little trick of putting the shoebox. And you put it on a center pole, you wind it into a ball, and you can ply it right off there.
Yep, you can ply the front, both ends, and that's good too because then the lightest weight and the heaviest weight ply together, so it creates a more even yarn. I'm going to do some. I don't think I'm going to do straight up spinning tutorials because I get paid to teach spinning, and I don't want to offer for free on the internet what I'm charging people money for. But I may do some tips and tricks.
That'd be good.
Like plying off of a spindle or, things like that. So I may do there may be some tutorial-esque things in the future. So, I'm still spinning that politically incorrect fiber bat that I got from my friend Tina, but that's at home on my wheel. And so, because it's Tour de Fleece and I'd been camping, I took this with me so that I could still be spinning. And this is Finn roving, again, locally grown and processed, not mine. This is from Heron Crossing Farm. You have to Google it. I don't believe she has a website, but she's at fiber festivals and stuff. I got this at Fiber College last September, and this is just a Highland Handmade spindles. It's actually an oops. I don't know if you can see that the hook came through right there above the whorl.
Oh, yeah, it did.
So we're not going to sell it because, I mean, not that it affects the usefulness of it at all, but it's not pretty, so we don't sell it.
I bought one of their oopses. I got it at a discount.
Oopses work just fine.
Yep.
Yeah, yours had a little chip on the bottom, right?
Mine spins just fine. I spun some. Actually, it was this. It was the Katahdin. And it spins. It spins fine.
We both have cherry.
Yep.
This is the difference, by the way, between mineral oil cherry and finished polyurethane.
Mineral, right?
No, this is polyurethane. See how it's very paler, and this looks more red.
Oh, yeah.
This is the mineral oil.
Yeah.
Because it's brings out
so
the natural
my
beauty.
oops is that there's a little bitty chip under the bottom of the shaft. And
mine,
I asked what they were going to do with it, and they're like, oh, I'll probably sell it for a discount. I'm like, oh, really?
Mine has a little, the hook came out here at the bottom, right on top of the whorl. So this fin is spinning very fine. It likes to be spun fine. It wants to be. I'm not going to argue with it. She's growing a collection.
And they're all Highland Handmades.
They're
this
nice,
is the
though.
mineral. Is this the mineral?
That is...
No,
Nope,
I don't think
that's
I have any
polyurethane.
mineral, do I?
Polyurethane. Polyurethane. They're all polyed.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to have to get another one.
Here. She's so crushed that I'm going to have to get
The mineral oil does take a little bit more work because you've got to treat it. You've just got to re-mineral oil it once a year or whatever. Some people don't want to do that. So send it to us. We'll do it for you. We don't have a problem with that. So that's what I'm spinning, and that's what you're spinning.
Yep.
So,
all right. Sorry. Proceed.
Processes. I don't have a process to share with you this week. I couldn't think of anything. I was in food coma. Brain not having it.
My honey was like, are you guys on a podcast or what? And she's like, I'm kind of in a food coma. I'm just over here nodding. And she was just like, she's just like sitting in the chair, like breathing.
Jeez Louise.
Awesome. That was my honey scaring the crap out of us. And they're both out there laughing their tails off. Not nice.
Oh my god, I didn't swear though.
Did I?
No.
That's pretty good, because I just about popped a couple off. I almost said scared the...
Anyway.
Alright,
so I have nothing. So if you'd like to hear about a process, if there's something that I do that you kind of wonder how I do it or whatever, shoot me an email, heather@highlandhandmades.com, or plurk me, or Facebook me, or something. I'm on Google+, so you can find me there. Ask me what you want me to talk about, and I'll talk about it on next week's podcast. We are almost done.
That was not nice.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Good job.
Yeah.
Good job, honeys.
Good party.
Good party. We're almost done. We had a slight battery failure problem. My problem. Sorry.
Growth. I'm adding new fibers, locally grown and processed, undyed, you know.
Yep.
Local stuff.
Don't get
Highland.
any better than that.
Highland stuff, you know. You can't do anything worse than,
No.
you know.
They're matching up with your name.
I thought you were knitting La Vie for a minute. I'm like, why are you slipping like 4 stitches? That's dumb. Like, it didn't make sense to me. I'm like, I don't do that in my pattern.
Doing the La Vie.
Okay, so I'm adding new fibers. Woo! I didn't even put the woot in there. Did you see woot?
Oh, you did put woot. Nice. Woot
I have
with an
very,
exclamation
very
point.
exacting notes. Like I follow along. Grabby hands.
You hear the boys, they're out in the kitchen talking.
All right, where did my grabby hands go? We were just
Did you
looking
bring
at
it in?
Where did it go? I thought we did.
I thought you threw it in your...
I did. It's on the bottom. A very ugly handbag that I bring my knitting around in when I have a lot
I
of
don't
it.
think it's that ugly.
I do. Okay, so while we were camping, my husband got a magazine for himself, and he felt bad, so he got me a magazine for me. This is Knitters magazine, put out by knittinguniverse.com. Benjamin Levisay, who is he's like the boss of this magazine, is on my Facebook. He's actually a really nice guy.
Oh, yeah?
Yep. Seems to be anyway. I mean, it's Facebook, so maybe I don't know, but he seems nice. But I saw his name on here, and I recognized it from Facebook. I was like, oh, hey, he's on my list. But this magazine is sort of specialty because it is all sweaters, and they're all either A-frame, like trapeze sort of sweaters, or loose fit sweaters. They're not form-fitting. They're designed to be sort of loose and drapey. And there are some sweaters in here that I don't understand. But there are a couple in here that I really liked.
Yeah.
I'm going to show you the ones I don't understand first. Because why not?
Because those are the funny ones. No offense to
And I
anybody
love
that likes these. They're just not our
half of the reason to look at these, honestly, are the ads, because I get to see cool stuff.
Okay, this one makes me think of Pirates of the Caribbean. The guys
With
that
the
are
seaweed, like
they're on the seaweed and they've got like crap growing out of their face. That's what that reminds me of.
This isn't a pattern, it's just an ad.
It's
But it's a
an ad.
sweater where she's got stuff like growing out of the sweater.
I just don't get it. It's not my style.
It's an embellishment, dear.
I guess.
They did show the yarn in here. There was an ad for that yarn that we saw that they're...
The ribbon stuff?
Yeah, that ribbon stuff that knit up all by itself.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
That's
Anyway.
pretty cool.
So I'll show you. There aren't a lot of sweaters, so I'll show them to you really quick. This is called Ribs and Waves. It's just a white, cardigan kind of with an interesting construction because there's 2 sets of frills here. I think if you wanted it shorter, you could probably just do one, but I actually like the longer length. I don't know that I am a big fan of the 2 frills.
It looks like about mid-hip. It looks like it really hits.
Which is a good final length, but this top frill is going to hit me right in my fat gut. I'm going to look pregnant. But this is one of the only sweaters I thought that had sleeves that were pretty long.
The only time to look pregnant is if you are pregnant.
Yeah, not so true, after all. Turns out. This is a sweater that I don't understand. And I don't think the chick understands it either, because her face is kind of like, are you seriously taking my picture?
Really?
It's called Sonoma. And it's a regular sweater. With phalanges. Like, what is that? It says, a cropped jacket is sassy and flirtatious with the contrasting drapes. These short row accents are easy and add a 3rd dimension to this lacy knit, because that's what I need, is to be bulky in the 3rd direction.
It looks like you sewed a quarter of a dishcloth and attached it to the back.
Yeah, and it's on the front too. I don't know if you saw that it's on the front.
Oh my god!
No. She's gritting her teeth, I think, in this picture, just to wear the sweater in public. It doesn't have any buttons, short sleeve, cropped, with phalanges. In a contrasting yarn completely. And they're garter. Like, it's a lacy crop jacket, but it's... That's the worst sweater in here. They're not, the rest of them aren't as bad.
No, that one with the things on is pretty bad.
This is called Kiwi Squares. And I actually kind of like the Empire look of this. The sleeves to me looked a little bit bulky and awkward, but I think the body of the sweater was kind of nice. It has the entrelac sort of... Oh, yeah. And then I liked it, but I thought the... And, like, you'd have to wear it with that shirt underneath it. Like, really?
Yeah.
I love this one. This is called Scallops. Simple construction, stockinette, with a nice scalloped detail on the sleeves and the hem. I looked at this picture and went, I want to knit that. It looks like it's a soft, maybe a cashmere blend or something. Like, it looks really soft and pretty, and I like the little keyhole thing, and it had a high enough neck, straightforward.
Then you turn the page.
Then I turn the page. And realize it's not a shirt, it's a frickin' dress. But not a really dress, like a mini dress. Like the dress that if you bend over, you're showing your
Look, she's trying to cover her stuff in the picture. Like, that's not a good sign.
And really, she's in the lace detailing where her hoo-ha would be. Like, is that really where you want holes to show up? In your No. So I think if I were to ever knit that, and it is pretty, I would shorten it considerably and make it fall at hip height and make it be a tunic. I think a tunic would be alright. Yeah. I could wear it with jeans or...
Yes.
You know, I would have to. There's just no way. I'm not going to make it longer because God's stuck in it. But that one was my favorite. I hate the name of this more than anything. This is called the Nefertiti. Not Nefertiti like the Egyptian queen, but Nefertiti. Really? But it's knit sideways, I think.
Is it?
It's just the one that's knit.
Yeah, look at
beginning of the sleeve. Yeah, you knit across. You start at the sleeve and knit across the body, which is kind of neat. At least then, if you had like a variegated yarn, it would vertically stripe and not horizontally stripe.
Yeah, that would be good.
Of course, it has no shaping.
No, it's just a box.
Oh, I hear the ducks.
Jerry must have them up front. Oh, there they are.
He's
holding a duck outside the window.
He just picked up a duck and walked up to the window. Who does that? Okay, almost done. Nautical notes would be alright if the sleeves weren't so short and the neckline wasn't so wide. I'm so critical, Katie. People are like, why don't you design your own then, damn it?
Maybe she will.
Maybe I will. Beachcomber. Somebody attacked with a bedazzler. Otherwise, it's alright. Kind of 80s, actually.
If you leave off the bedazzles, it might be okay.
But,
but there's holes right by your boobs. Like, really? I don't know.
angles and lime. No. And maybe if it were like a spaghetti strap instead of like
It's too boxy.
Texas Friday Night Bingo. This is called, I don't know what it's called. It's called Beaded Blue.
Yeah, that's nope.
Arches. I did like this
That
one.
one's
I thought
not
this
bad.
one. That one's not bad.
No.
It's plain simple. Simple yarn with patterns. You see how
Yeah.
that works? Like you don't do
Not crazy busy yarn with crazy busy pattern. It's not a good combo.
basket weave blue.
This is grandma blue. No offense.
Boxy blue. we're
It's
calling
what my grandma would wear. Like that's her color, and that's kind of the style she would.
it. I do like the little ruffle at the bottom. I thought that was
It
pretty
is cool.
And Boyfriend Blues is a sweater vest, and I know sweater vest, but I actually kind of like this one. It's knit all in one piece. I think you add the button band after. I'm so sorry, it's so hot in here.
Oh, I forgot to open the window.
But it's just pretty nice. I just kind of like. I don't know that I'd ever knit it and wear it.
We're
Might
getting
have
pictures
flash. But it's a good. I really like the look of it, and I like. If you're gonna have a sweater vest, I want it to be in something that's not fitted.
Yeah.
So, and then there's just like a bunch of techniques and stuff at the end. So, I'm.
What?
Probably I don't know if I'll knit something out of this, but I like
You
some
might.
of the
There's a
things.
couple.
There's a couple. I did like that scallops one. I like
Mm.
that one a lot.
Yep.
All right, so that was a grabby hand. So, Knitters Magazine, get your copy today. All right, Katie, I think that's it.
That's
We
it.
get like an hour again.
Yeah, probably. So sorry.
But there's two of us. It's okay to be an hour long if there's two of us.
I agree.
If it's just me, there's no okay to be an
Yeah.
hour. I'm going back
That's
to
it.
like 30-minute episodes. I'm gonna set a timer, an egg timer.
Bing! Sorry, that's all, folks.
Yeah, exactly.
No, you better do the update at the beginning.
Huh?
All your fibers at the
Yeah, I
beginning.
know, right? This, and just do it quickly and just.
Alrighty, that's it.
All right, well then I get flash.
Nope, he's held the flash
oh no,
down.
you held the flash down this time. Okay.
Better with the flash.
Until next week,
it.
guys. Happy spinning and knitting.
Bye.
Thanks for tuning in.